Selecting songs that you really like, that really mean something to you, how does that interact when you're talking about dealing with a band?
I'm lucky to have some incredible players to work with. Guys that know their instruments, and they know a lot of music, and they got some chops. So we can kind of speak without even using full sentences sometimes. We can probably tell that's how I'm used to communicating today. But, I don't know. They kind of leave it up to me. They kind of leave it up to me because I am the one that's going to have to tell these stories or sing the songs. So what's it going to be? Yeah, they don't really complain too much. I don't know, that's a very good answer. But yeah, they seem to just go right along with it. I haven't got too many complaints. Everybody in the band has veto power. So if there's something that's not working or something they don't like, well, we can try it a different way or we can come up with something else. That's no problem either. But for the most part, everything works out pretty easily. I always want some collaboration, as much collaboration as you can get on things. When we get together, whatever, I'm just, hey, there's this kind of a beat, or hey, maybe give me something like this on the bass, or the song kind of needs this in there, but I'm not really trying to tell anybody, well, this is how it goes, or this is how it needs to be, or whatever. Let's come up with our own way to deliver it, what's comfortable for everybody else. So instead of telling everybody what to do, you got to let the guys play and be the best musician they are, and leave it up to them, and then I think everybody in my band has a good sense of, okay, well, we got to serve the song. We're not into showboating, really. But we don't rehearse.
If you don't do rehearsals, when do you get together to talk about the songs and think through some of the things you want to do with it?
Yeah, it's strange. Well, it's true. We've only had maybe a handful of rehearsals over the years. I'll be digging around songs and things will, catch my attention. And so like a new thing, usually most of my stuff is pretty simple. Again, having really good players, I think is the key. And just say, well, look, we're in G, and if all else fails, go back to G. We got a part here where we're going to do a turnaround and whatnot. But, if nothing else, I'll meet you back at G. So let's go for it and see. And hey, man, we've seen some songs really take off and stay in the catalog. And then they've gotten better. And then some songs have died right there, and we've never tried to do them again. It's just, okay, this is not working. I think all our songs that we've done, they're pretty much the same way that how we always do them. But there's always room for a little bit different of an interpretation or for a different feel. Our songs, I think, have evolved over time, too, the longer that we've played them. They're still kind of growing, still kind of evolving. I don't know if they've gotten better, but they have changed.
Maybe it's time for another song.
Okay. This song actually is an old Chain Gang song. I think the first recording would have been off the Texas Chain Gang Singers. And Bob Dylan might have covered it too. It makes a long time man feel bad. It makes a long time man feel bad. When you're out there on your own, ain't got no letter from your home, it makes a long time man feel bad. Tell all of my friends so long. Tell all of my friends so long. Tell all of my friends so long. I see all around, it makes a long time man feel bad. Giving you the short versions on some of these. Yeah, the guerrilla style of sharing songs. You go and just share it and get out. Lay down a little bit and then get back out. Hit the next one, right? Oh man, yeah, it's weird. But old music will take you so many different places. I mean, looking into old music and who listened to who, it'll take you all the way around the world, man. For one song just leads to another. I'm going around, and then before I know it, I mean, I'm sitting at the house listening to music. I might start out listening to some Little Walter or some Sonny Boy Williamson, and getting into that, and then I don't know, weird little connections. One thing starts to another and leads to another, and then I'm listening to old Irish sea chanties. I don't know how you get there sometimes, but you do. And it's like, man, suddenly you find gold. Wow. How long have you guys been singing this song without me? How long has this thing been here and I didn't know about this? I take real pleasure in discovering songs. Yeah, the guy, Johnny Collins, never heard of him. Irish singer, folk singer for pub tunes and traditional Irish music and sea chanties as well. Impressed the heck out of me. I heard him do a version of this song called Lever, Johnny Lever. He has his friends singing with him, and I heard that, and it knocked me out. I said, that's something else. So what else is going on in there? Yeah, it's never ending. It's never ending. And to see the connection that a lot of our American music, old traditional music, country music, blues music, how it comes from across the ocean, and how a lot of these jigs or little tunes, how they came from old traditional songs from Scotland or from England. Fascinating to me, fascinating. And how these songs get handed down from player to player down through the years, and that each player might have their own little way of doing it, or they might tag on a little something to it. That's just amazing. I love that. I love that.
It was interesting. We were in Scotland just this past summer, and listening to some of the local performers. I mean, I could have been in a pub here in Savannah.
Really?
And it was just amazing how they would cross the pond in terms of their music. They'd play a traditional Scottish ballad, for instance, and then play a Bob Dylan song.
Right.
And it was just wonderful to see those connections.
Yeah, to see how things can overlap like that. And everywhere you go, people are people, and everybody has their music. To see how we're really similar, and to enjoy it when we are quite different too.
So do you ever take some of those Irish songs or sea chanties and do them in a blues style?
Well, not so much in a blues style. Well, then again, I guess most of my stuff is going to sound bluesy. If I have my say about it, it's going to be kind of bluesy sounding. Well, for example, last week I discovered this song, Lever, Johnny Lever. And we were doing a show at the Jinx. We were on a break in between sets. My bass player and my drummer at the time, you were working with Jason Gessick, I call him Noodles. He was sitting in on drums that night, and he also sings as well. And Stan is a great singer, Stanley Pierce. So it was while we were on a break, I told him, I says, hey, I discovered this song, and it's got a call and response thing, and, here's the words. And we ended up doing it at the end of the night. I said, well, we'll see if it feels like we could get away with it, then we'll just close the night, because it's an a cappella kind of number. For good or ill, we did it. And I think we got some other folks to sing along, too. Yeah, that's always a fun thing to do. Someone when a chance, there's another old song called Old Lost John that we'll do sometimes at the end of the night, and we'll just try to, it doesn't need any music, and we'll just do it a cappella, and it's a call and response. We'll try to get the crowd to sing back to us. And that's always just a magical feeling, man, when you got people in on the song and making it bigger, making it better. Yeah, I like that. I like a lot of weird stuff, though, so.
I think it was Pete Seeger, actually, who said that communication between the audience and the artist has a sacred power.
Yeah, it certainly does. It certainly does. If there is anything sacred in this world, that's one of them, for sure. No matter where they're from or what they're doing or what they believe in or what their opinions about things might be. All that stuff gets kind of checked at the door when we're all singing a song together that we all like. And nobody really cares about this and that so much anymore. Everybody can kind of, with music, man, people can kind of forget about their problems. Or they can get worked up into a frenzy, too. Incredibly powerful stuff. But yeah, if there is anything sacred in this world at all, it is the power, it is the music and the power that has. And the ability to share that with other people. Yeah. When you sit there and you can relax listening to, maybe it's sacred Sufi music, or maybe it's Pete Seeger, or maybe it's the Sex Pistols, man. I mean, whatever gets through to you. I'm not still learning how to explain the whole thing, I suppose, but it's great to share that with people. Yeah.
Why the blues? Why is it important to hear the blues? Why is it important to play the blues?
The blues is, there's nothing mystical or supernatural about it. The blues music is about feeling better. It's about making people feel better, I think, to me, is the way I see it. You know, the world is sick. Society is sick. And it needs art and music to heal it and make people feel better. And the blues is about getting over your troubles and your problems. And if you can sing about it, maybe that'll help you feel better about it. And if you sing about your problems, then you kind of have a sense of mastery over it. Maybe it's not quite so bad. If you're feeling bad and you hear some other guy like me singing about my problems or things or whatever is going on, maybe to cheer you up because you know you don't have it as bad as I do. So sometimes, you know, there's humor in there, even in the midst of tragedy and heartache. That there's a little humor. It's not about some just being sad or I'm feeling bad, so I'm going to listen to some blues. Or it's about feeling better. You put on blues music when you want to have a good time. Yeah, it's just an incredible heritage that we have as musicians all around the world. Everybody gets the blues. Like I think it was Buddy Guy says, if you ain't had the blues, then just keep on living. Because everybody's going to get the blues sooner or later. Like if you got to make the rent, man, and you ain't got the money, then that's the blues. If you're stuck in traffic, or if you're a kid that wants his candy, yeah, nobody's going to give you the candy, well, yeah, you got the blues. It brings everybody together, just the whole human comedy or whatever.
Maybe we should suggest that in Washington, D.C., getting the president and the Congress together and sings a few blues songs. Maybe they get a whole lot more done up there.
Well, it seems like they sure been giving everybody the blues. Maybe that's really their job, is they give us the blues so we can sing it back to them, right? Yeah, too bad those guys don't even like music, right? Yeah.
You mentioned the humor in blues. Could you give us an example of that?
Sure. Like in a song.
Yeah.
Try to think of one that's clean. Well, you know, the old, it's as old as dirt, man. I mean, I'm going back to the country, y'all. I can't pay this rent. Well, I ain't completely broke, but man, I'm badly bent. I don't know. I don't know where all my money went. Well, now I ain't broke, but man, I'm badly bent. When I get back to the country, I'm gonna be living in a tent. My mom and pa gonna be mad about all that money I spent. And I told them I don't know. I don't know where all my money went. Yeah, I ain't broke, but man, I'm badly bent. You know, I had a lot of money one time, but to the city I went. I met one too many good-looking girls, and you know that's where all my money went, boys. I know. I know exactly where all my money went. Yeah, I told you I ain't broke. I ain't broke, but man, I'm badly bent. Maybe not the funniest blues song you've ever heard, but, well, there's never a joke unless it's at somebody else's expense. And so I guess maybe that's where it kind of comes into play, that it can be a sometimes kind of humorous. Other people's miseries are entertainment, right? That's where the blues comes into play there too. Sure, you know.
One of the things about the blues, in very traditional blues, when people think of blues artists, they don't think of highly educated necessarily. They don't think highly sophisticated. But if you listen to the words and the way that they use the words, like in this song, I'm broke, as in no money, but I may not be broke, but I'm really bent. Meaning broke as in broken,
right?
And then bent as in, misshapen.
Right.
So I'm really misshapen, but I'm not broken apart.
Right.
But there's a song about being broke, having no money. So that word play, you listen to almost every blues song, and it works on the words that way. Mm-hmm. Either that or it has this continuous double entendre. So you could read the whole song in one way and read the whole song in another way.
Right, right.
Eric Culberson last year was part of a project that's done by the Savannah Music Festival called Musical Explorers. And what they do is they go through 3 forms of music each semester. And last spring, blues was one of those 3 forms, and Eric Culberson was the blues artist that was involved in the project. And I was joking with him after one of the concerts that it was very hard to find a blues song that could be sung to kindergartners, first and second graders. And the one that they picked was Little Red Rooster. And he said, well, we changed a few of the words, but not many. But the whole song is a double entendre. And so you could read it completely at a level that kindergarten, first and second graders can get it, can appreciate it, and can sing it, and no one would feel bad. On the other hand, you get the double entendre. Yeah, it's the nastiest song.
It certainly can be. It's great, and there's so many songs that are like that. Like when the kids like the songs, and the adults like the songs too, but for totally different reasons. Yeah, good stuff. There's a lot, and again, Bo Carter, who was he wrote so many great old blues tunes, and there were a lot of double entendres and good old tunes. Yeah, well, I guess music and comedy can always go right there and there together to be entertaining. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
As I said, I'm continually amazed by the use of language and the use of puns. Of course, anybody who knows me knows that I like puns, and they're all spread out all the way through blues music.
Yeah, there's some great lyrics out there, some great lyricists. Yeah, it's you'd have to, I guess, maybe just on its face, it might not seem very, very sophisticated for some people. It might, of course, one of the attractions to blues music to me has been that it's kind of rough around the edges. It's a little distorted, and it's a good solid rhythm to it. But then when you got that, and then you're telling a good story, double entendre or no, then man, that's some high octane stuff right there. I guess it's a matter of taste. I mean, you could listen to some old acoustic artists that are actually quite sophisticated, that are very impressive with their lyrics as well as their musicianship. One way to go is listen to Blind Willie McTell. Listen to that man play his 12-string, and he was from Georgia and roamed around this part of the country a lot. And some of his stuff is just amazing guitar work. One of the best guitar players I've ever heard. But hardly anybody's ever heard of him. And unless you're really digging around, you're probably not going to find him. Everybody's heard about Robert Johnson. Another very incredible guitar player. Very sophisticated in his approach and the things he did. Another one you could say he taught a lot of other people how to play it. Then again, they weren't the only ones out there. There's a whole lot of other Robert Johnson's contemporaries that were just as good, or if not maybe better. But well, I guess I'm trying to say that there's just so much. I mean, there's the guys that again, like you hear so much about Robert Johnson, but you don't hear hardly anything about Son House, and he was there to teach that man how to play in the beginning. You might hear a little bit about Howlin' Wolf, but again, you don't hear about Son House, and you don't hear about Charlie Patton. There's popular stuff, and then there's stuff that maybe it should have been popular, but I don't know why. I don't know why it ain't popular for whatever reason. So to be able to find that stuff, and hey, to tell people about Charlie Patton, or about Howlin' Wolf, or some of these others, it's had such an impact on me. I certainly want to share it with everybody else. I think Sunhouse is responsible for this one. This one goes back pretty far, but and I think when he did it, he just clapped his hands. But I'll put some music to it anyway.
John the Revelator wrote the book for the 7 seals. Who's that rotten? John the Revelator. Who's that rotten? John the Revelator. Who's that rotten? It's John the Revelator wrote the book for the 7 seals. Well, God walked down in the cool of the day, called out him by his name. But he refused to answer cause he was naked and ashamed. Well, who's that rotten? John the Revelator, tell me who's that rotten? John the Revelator. Who's that rotten? It's John the Revelator wrote the book on the 7 seals. Christ rose up on Easter morn, Mary went on down to sea. He said, tell my disciples to meet me down in Galilee. Well, who's that rotten? John the Revelator, honey, who's that rotten? John the Revelator. Who's that rotten? It's John the Revelator wrote the book on the 7 seals.
Very nice.
Thank you. Thanks.
Like you mentioned before, it's just wonderful to hear those songs. That's totally new to me. I've
Really?
never heard that before.
Wow.
That discovery, it's so wonderful. Now I'm going to have to
Go look for that
go
song.
look for Sun House.
Please go look for some Sun House.
Yeah.
And just that song, John the Revelator. Look for that song and see how far it goes back and see how many other people have done a version of that song. A lot of these old songs, especially traditional stuff. Another great example, Going Down the Road Feeling Bad. Woody Guthrie recorded that, but I'm not sure if he's the one that wrote it or not. But he's certainly not the only man to sing it. And if you look for just that song and how many versions and how many different artists have covered that and sang it and plugged in a different verse here or there, or maybe left one out and did something else. That to me is the really amazing part of the journey.
So one of the great things about these songs is that you can leave out a verse and they still make total sense.
They'd still be in there. They'd still be in there. And it's amazing when you go and let's say you have a version of the song and you only know it to have these couple of verses and a chorus or whatever, but then if you were to go back and find it, like you find sometimes there's a whole lot that's there that used to be there that isn't any longer. Yeah, to me that's like panning for gold. That's like finding some treasure, something old that's new. It's always been there. And when it's like a light goes on, like there's a recognition in a way, I guess, a shock of recognition. Like, hey, I know that sound. What? That's yeah, it's exciting.
For time reasons, you've cut some of the songs short here. Do you do that when you're out performing?
That happens. We just kind of go as we're feeling, try to read the crowd and read the band, how we're sounding, and what might be the vibe that we need to kind of go for, or where we need to kind of take the sound. There's times when, you know what, we're going to leave off a little bit. And without trying to bastardize the song, you feel bad about that, but you know what, if it's just not there and it's not clicking, then you know what, let's wrap it up and let's move on and get to something else.
Now, blues can be acoustic, like we've been doing today, but the electric guitar really caught on in blues.
Yeah.
Why do you think that's the case?
Well, with an electric guitar, it's a lot more expressive than an acoustic guitar. It's louder. You can get more of kind of a distorted sound out of it. That really just, it's like bologna and bread with the music, that kind of sound. Then again, when you look at Muddy Waters, he was the old joke is that Muddy Waters invented electricity, right? And he was the one that took it from the country up to the city. And there's those old recordings of him playing acoustic. But then he got an electric and he plugged in, and that's when it took off. But if you listen to what the man was doing, it was the same old country blues. It was just on an electric guitar. So I don't know. Electric guitars are awesome. They sound great. But as far as anything else, I'm I'm not sure. It's just louder. It's got more of a kind of a tone to it.
In watching you perform and seeing you here tonight, I see your guitar, and I instantly think Tom Morello because of all the posters and stickers that are on it.
Yeah, it's kind of a billboard there for everybody, and I'm still got room for more stickers. You know, I just kept slathering them on this thing. You know what it was? I was given this guitar, and the guy that had it before me, Jeff Beasley, gave me this guitar. 2009. He just showed up in my house one night and he goes, "Sarah, I want you to have this." Blew me away. Couldn't believe it. So I've been playing it ever since. It was one of the nicest things anybody had ever done. But he had this paint job. It was a black guitar, but it had this fingernail polish, modern art, like Jackson Pollock kind of sneezed or something, but it didn't look like Jackson Pollock. It was just bad. It didn't look good. So I started kind of covering it up with some stickers here and there, and it just kept going. So now the thing, I mean, it's really, I mean, it's anti-theft mechanism now because nobody's going to take this thing. And if they do, well, everybody knows who it is. You know, I mean, I don't know of anybody else that has honky on the front of their guitar in this town. So, or the Gonzo Crest. So. Yeah, and then, you know, my friends, his kid put some stickers on here too, so you never know. There might be some on here I'm not even aware of.
Do we have another song?
Maybe we do. Let's see. Oh, you know what might be fun?
Pack it down with ice, and then you roll, give a Coca-Cola, dish of ice cream and a lemon soda. It takes soap and water, honey, just to keep it clean. Stick with me, baby, I'll turn your money green. I'll show you something your pappy never seen. Roll over, give a Coca-Cola, dish of ice cream and a lemon soda. It takes soap and water, honey, for to keep it clean. Was purple and her bottom was green. Well, you roll it over, give a Coca-Cola, here's the ice cream, don't forget the lemon soda. Take soap and water on it for to keep it clean. Whiskey, pack it down with ice, and then you roll, give a Coca-Cola, here's your ice cream and a lemon soda. Take soap and water, honey, just to keep it clean.
I heard Dave Van Ronk do a version of that, and I was been knocked out by that, so... Maybe one of these days I'll learn how to play all these songs correctly, but...
Well, you just have to play them in the Ray Lundy style.
That's all I can do, you know, for good or ill. Sometimes it's good, sometimes maybe it's not so much.
I think it's really good when you get into it, when it becomes part of you. I mean, music is great. When the artist is really getting into that, and particularly when the crowd gets into that.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. Live music is definitely where we want to see music go here in Savannah.
Right. Yeah, that would be nice if that was a trend. It would once again become chic to go to every live performance you could possibly make and to witness it happening live in person, right there in the moment. I would love that. What if the whole thing changed? And no, there's really no more money in recording or trying to make an album anymore. Now what the kids want is to go to your show. Really? Yeah, nobody really wants to. It's now the hip thing to do is to see it live and just take it with you in your heart and talk about it later. I'm hoping for the day. That would be great. Get back to the day where guys will turn around and they wouldn't let people watch them when they were playing because they didn't want anybody stealing their licks or watching what they were doing. That would be interesting if that came back.
Well, we've had Ray Lundy here tonight. Ray Lundy, most famous for being part of Bottles and Cans. And I really appreciate you being here. Thank you very much.
Man, it's awful nice of you to have me. And I'm so glad to be a part of it. Thank you. Thank you very much, David.
This has been another edition of Music Local and Sustainable, and I've been your host, Dave Lake.
Well, I know we ain't headed for the Hall of Fame. Gonna give it what we got, man, it ain't no shame. Let me know if you can hear me. Check, check, 1, 2. Let me know if you can hear me. Check, check, 1.